तुझे याद करे दुनिया, तूने प्यार जो हमको दिया, मीठी प्यारी मम्मा, ममतामयी जगदम्बा। वो नैन नूरानी तेरे करती सबको पावन, वो नैन नूरानी तेरे करती सबको पावन। सुन मृदुवाणी तेरी, बन जाए मन मधुबन, जो भी तुझे देखे वो समझे तुम्हें अपनी माँ, मीठी प्यारी मम्मा, ममतामयी जगदम्बा। तेरी पालना ओ मम्मा, आज याद हमें आई। तेरी पालना ओ मम्मा, आज याद हमें आई। बड़े प्रेम से जो तूने हर बात थी समझाई, मम्मा हम बच्चों के संग यूं ही सदा रहना, मीठी प्यारी मम्मा, ममतामयी जगदम्बा।
Om Shanti and welcome everyone. Let us welcome Manju Behn and let me briefly introduce myself to you. Sister Manju came in touch with the Brahma Kumaris at an early age of 9 years. Through her early journey days, the peacefulness and sanctity that she experienced had her choose Rajyogi life as a path of her life. And she dedicated herself completely to this divine service immediately after she completed her education. Since then, she's been a Rajyogi teacher and she's been a lecturer and she's been conducting various talks, spreading these learnings across India and across the world. She has been a spiritual counselor for psychotic people and has also served in rehab centers in psychiatric department. Her forte is to make deep spiritual learnings put across in a very simple and applicable manner. She has been Gyan since more than 48 years now, and since 26 years, she is staying in Gyan Sarovar at Mount Abu. So this month of June is Mama's month, and today's topic is Mama's teachings for the Confluence age, on which we shall hear Manju Behn share her learnings. Welcome, Manju Behn. Over to
Thank
you.
you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Can you all hear me? Om
Yes.
Shanti. And good morning to you all. Warm greetings from Madhuban and lots of love and remembrances from the land of Tapasya, the land where the mother and the father of this prestigious yajna spent a lot of time in their endeavorance, where every corner of that place in Madhuban gives the vibrations of their tapasya, their renunciation, and their good wishes for every child. And so, as you were playing that beautiful song with visuals, it brought many memories of all daddies, though I didn't see Mama, but along with Mama, so many daddies were seen, and that brought so many memories in my mind that my time I spent with them. So it's such a beautiful family together, a spiritual family, it's a godly family, where God, the Father, put each one of us together to move ahead on this wonderful journey towards completion. Well, this is the month of Mama, the goddess of knowledge, the goddess of purity, the goddess of love, and goddess of wealth. Wealth, not in terms of the material wealth, of course, that is in the future from, the golden age, but in the confluence age, she is the goddess of wealth of knowledge, wealth of wisdom. So it's so nice to think and to have that feeling that we belong to such family. We belong, our ancestors, our mother and father, our grandfather is, the authorities. So as I was informed, there are many of you who may be new to Baba's knowledge and might have heard a bit and pieces of Mama, how her journey began in this spiritual, path. I guess she came when she was 12 years old to Baba, and there were already many other dadis who were in Gyan at that time when she came. She was just 12 and young girl. There was a tragedy in her family. And then after that, she, her father lost his business. And so she came to Baba because the neighbors told her that you go to Baba, you go to Om Mandali, and then you will get peace of mind. And so she came with Richa, her mother, to Yagya. As soon as she stepped in, Baba was able to recognize that soul And she said, she's Om Radhe. And every day what Baba gave her the knowledge, I'm sure we all have taken 7 days course, have been through, that course. But then Mama, every day when Baba was talking to her, explaining her the knowledge, it's just not that she heard or it's just that not she understood. But then she started that moment practicing. Like Baba recognized Mama to be the future, the goddesses of wealth, Lakshmi. Mama also recognized Baba. We all know Baba. We all have faith in Baba. We all love Baba. And I'm sure many of you would have, let go of many things to continue the spiritual journey. Many of you might have faced several issues in your Lokik, in your social world, social life. But Mama had that strong faith in the sense she recognized who God is. The very important thing is we all have faith, but faith with knowledge. That's very important. Because many of us have this sanskara of having religious type of faith, religious type of relationship with God. But then Mama not only understood God, but she recognized as He is, what He is, who He is. And so the moment she heard Baba's knowledge, she started following it as it is. We have several excuses to follow Baba's knowledge, and we try to mend many times according to our situations. But then Mama never ever did that. She just said what Baba said. And I heard many stories of Mama and Baba from Dadis directly, like Dadi Prakash Mani, Dadi Chandramani, and Dadi Chandramani's sister, older sister, who used to be in Bangalore. She was Dadi Hriday Pushpa, who was in charge of whole Karnataka, Bangalore. And she came to, Baba sent her to Karnataka with 5 rupees of the, in those days. And she said, you have to go and start a service there. And she never knew the language. She never knew anything. She didn't know the place, and and she didn't have that big money. But with that 5 rupees in her hand and a train ticket, she just arrived to Bangalore. And today it's such a flourishing, there are hundreds of centers in Karnataka. So I get to know, I got sustenance from her, got knowledge from her. And it is through her that I was surrendered to Baba. So many stories she used to talk about Mama and Baba. And the amount of faith she had was, once Baba gave her a task of finishing, like in those days, exhibitions, fair, conducting, having a fair outside used to be a very big task. It used to be very big program, sort of. All the seniors would come wherever they used to have exhibition. So Baba used to give such tasks to Mama, said, tomorrow by this time they should be ready. And if a normal child like us would say, how is it possible? Tomorrow and we haven't even started, we don't even have material. And it's just not having a material, it's just not having, but then we have to do the whole job. It's not one person's job. There should be many together, and then manpower is necessary, material is necessary, and then we have to get it done. And we definitely, if we would have been in her place, would say, Baba, we need more time. Baba, how is it possible? How can we make this, the job possible by this time? But Mama never used to ever say this to Baba. Mama always used to say, Ji Baba. That was her, the line. Anything Baba said, Ji Baba, yes Baba. Because she recognized, who is it? Who is telling this? Who is ordering us? When Baba tells us something to do, he not only gives an order, but together he gives us power to do that job. That's God. So she didn't see Brahma Baba as a person, but she saw Brahma Baba as God's face. Like soul, I am a soul, and this is my face. I am a soul, this is my soul's face. Yeah. So Brahma Baba is God, the Supreme Shiv Baba's face. So all seniors or dadis didn't see Brahma Baba as a Brahma Baba, the founder of Brahma Kumaris organization or Om Mandali, but then they saw him as God's face, And this, every word Baba said, they recognized it as God's words, and that the energy that every word has and the power it has. And with that, recognizing the power in the word, they used to feel it was possible. Everything is possible. Time, who was saying this? And when God is telling this, it is possible. God would never ever say something that is not possible. And when he is telling that to you, he not only understands the work can be possible, but he also understands the capacity of the soul, that this soul has that skill, has the ability to be able to fulfill this job within that given space of time. Sorry. So one thing, the first thing is the amount of faith and trust and love in God. That's most impossible. That's most precious and most important thing in Confluence age. I believe throughout the human journey, trust, faith, and love are the foundation things to get along. If I miss that faith, that love, that trust, either in yourself or with the fellow beings, your family, or the people you work with, then the journey becomes a bit difficult. Then we begin to feel things, it seems impossible, it seems difficult, it seems harder as we, take steps towards the future. Every step I take forward seems bit harder, heavier, because I lack faith in myself, I lack faith in the family, I lack faith in, the relationships and my relationship with God. So the most important thing to begin any journey, either logic or spiritual, is your trust, the faith, the love, unshakable. And the trust and faith is just not blind, but filled with knowledge, filled with understanding. Who is it? Who is it who is saying? And he chose me, and I'm no less. I'm God's chosen child. So God, the whole world believes in God, trust God, but God is trusting me. God has so much of faith in me. So this thought gives me such a wonderful feeling and self-respect, which is very, very important in spiritual journey. And I guess most of the problems that we face, the hurdles that we face in our spiritual journey in the Confluence age, is a lack of self-respect. How much I respect myself, how much I trust myself, how much faith I have in myself is more important. And the second thing is, Mama had the word I use maybe very, very less, a great amount, or incredible or whatever. But then she had that strong, unshakable faith, not only in God, but in Brahma. And so her spiritual state was unshakable, no matter what happened. I'm sure you all have heard about Yagya history, how the Yagya began in the beginning. There were a lot of hurdles. The whole society opposed the Brahma Kumaris or Mandali in that times, in those days. But then it was Mama and Baba, and Baba had no example in front of him. So Mama, Baba were so strong. Mama was so strong. She believed anything that happened in the drama is absolutely beneficial. And not just beneficial, she believed everything that happened in drama is right. We believe drama is good, but she believed drama is right. Whatever happened, every moment, every situation that happened or going to happen or is happening is right. This is right in drama. Nothing is wrong in drama. And so there wasn't any upheaval, any doubt, any questions, why this and why that. This shouldn't be that way or that shouldn't be this way. No questions. And like today, Baba said in Avyakt Murli, today is Sunday, Prasanna Chit. The base for having that contented life is Prasanna Chit. And to have that cheerful, mind is no questions. No questions for self, no self-doubt, no doubt in relationship, no doubt in whatever happening, either in our spiritual life or in Baba's family or outside in the world. No questions, because that's right. Drama is no wrong, because right and wrong is relative terms that is connected in this world, that's related to this physical world, to this mundane world. But in the spiritual world, when we go beyond, the law of good and bad, law of cause and effect, there is another law, it's called a spiritual law. And in spiritual law, everything is right. Spiritual law is beyond right and wrong, beyond good and bad. Everything is fine, everything is good, everything is correct. To go to that level in the primary, class is wonderful thing. I have been in Gyan for, shortly going to be 50, but then it took such long time to understand and to assimilate many things. But then in that young age, she just could take it that way. It got into her system just like that. So that was the quality of that soul. That was the standard of that soul. And so she had to face the society, in those days in Karachi. And she had to also go to the court and talk. But then she never ever had even a moment of doubt or question or think, why should I, being a girl, go to a court? Why should I fight? I'm happy at home. Or why should I get into all these troubles? She never ever had that doubt or question in her mind, because I'm God's child, and God is with me, and it's God's task, and He's doing it. I'm just an instrument. So these things we listen every day in the Murli, but then she practically did it. And the third thing is, when Baba said, you are a mother, she was the first administrative head of Brahma Kumaris. And when she just came as a girl of 12 years, and then as the time went on, Baba said, you're a mother. You are not a girl, you're a mother. And that one word, she started becoming the mother. She looked after Yagya. Even her own mother, Richa, her mother, she used to call her mama, and so mother become a daughter and daughter become a mother. She took care of every child, physically, spiritually, mentally, and she was able to get that absolute balance, in looking after those 350, 400, children, Baba's children at that time. And she had that fragrance, the foundation of any spiritual journey is spirituality, which is called as Ruhaniyat, Ruhaniyat. So her practice of soul consciousness was so natural, so clear, and so obvious and so strong that the power of spirituality she had was so obvious in her personality. She was beautiful physically. She had beautiful, physical personality, but together she had that strong spiritual, pure personality. But as Baba says, the personality of purity. And she had beautiful, that soft and gentle, loving touch in her talk, in her drishti, in her handling people, because Yagya had all sorts of Baba's children, some difficult, some very cool, but then she was able to handle all of them because she had another beautiful quality, that is tolerance. Mother not only somebody give birth to a child becomes a mother. Mother is a quality. Every soul has that motherhood or fatherhood. And she had that tolerance, incredible. And that, the profound, the tolerance she had, I believe it's so very important for every Brahmin child, not only in spiritual life, but also in Lokik. Because tolerance is equal to purity. Like for a Brahmin life, purity is a base, and purity is so important, because on the basis of purity, our whole spiritual, building can be, we can build up our stage. And if a soul doesn't have, especially in this confluence age, if we don't have patience, if we don't have the tolerance, it's very difficult. We do have a lot of knowledge in terms of information. We read Murli, we listen to classes, we do that. So many, YouTube classes, reading and listening, and too many information, too much of information. But when it comes to a life, when it comes to facing a situation, when it comes to handling our own children, sometimes we lack that tolerance. We can't take it anymore. But we fail in that place. We can't tolerate certain things. We react. We just try to escape. We throw away. And our spiritual state or our soul, it's so beautiful, God's child, it's so pure, it's so clean, and it's so, stable. So we tend to lose that stability, because if I don't have that stability in my state of mind, I can't carry myself forward for long, because I break, I keep breaking, my state keeps breaking, and there is a lot of upheaval and disturbances in my own mind. Then I tend to think too much, and too much thinking, I can't have stable state of mind. And so tolerance is very, very important. Many times I need to tolerate my own sanskara. Just leave alone tolerating other people, their actions, their good, bad, but tolerating my own sanskara. I don't like certain things, what I have, what I do, what I speak, what I behave. And my old sanskaras, I know I have this sanskara, I have to tolerate it. So tolerance is very, very important. She became a mother because she had that profound tolerance. And I remember when Dadi sharing her last days, she was suffering from breast malignancy, and she left on 24th of June, as you all know. The day she was leaving, she left around 4 o'clock in the evening. And in the morning, Baba said, Mama, would you like to meet all your children? And in the history hall, there were around 370, nearly 400 Baba's children, and maybe a bit more, because there would be parties coming to Madhuban also at that time. Small parties, like small groups of 30, 20, sometimes 10 little groups from different parts. There were no many centers at that time, and it used to be not big groups of 1,000 people coming to Madhuban. Very small groups. Mama said yes, Baba. But then at that time, she had severe pain. Jamuna Dadi, her who used to take care of Mama's caretaker. She used to, I have met her many times in Madhuban, and I have asked her how Mama used to be, Jamuna Dadi. She used to say, when she used to give her experience, she had a lot of pain, in those last day, on that day especially. But when Baba said, would you like to meet all children? Because Baba knew that she will not be long, because doctors had already given time uh, uh, that she only will be 3 months. So 3 months prior, in the month of like say January or February, doctors already told that she'll not, that the body cannot take long. So on the day of 24th of June, in the morning, Baba said, you meet all the children. Mama said, yes, Baba, because Mama never ever used to say no to Baba. And so Mama came to the hall, and Baba said, Mama, you give, Baba was sitting with Mama. Baba said, you give grapes to the children. But Mama, you have to give grapes to children, give them that spiritual drishti, and you are a mother. So give that love to the children. So Mama used to take everybody in lab and give the 3 or 4, the grapes. Every 300, 400 children meeting. It used to, because Baba knew that the soul will be flying shortly. So she had severe pain, but she had that smile on her face, not a line of pain on her face seen. So she was as fresh, as as healthy as she was. So 4 o'clock evening, soul left the body peacefully. And well, that's another big story, mamas, how Baba Baba became a mother and a father, took care of the children and all that. But Mama had that amount of tolerance, and she never ever told Baba, I have pain, I can't do this, I can't do this. No. She was tolerating that, because the practice of soul consciousness, practice of being bodiless, was to that extent that soul was able to win over the matter, mind over matter. The soul was so powerful, attained that completion. So now soul had no pain. Now soul is the complete master over the sense organs. So now soul is beyond the feeling of pain, feeling of, all these things. So that was Mama. And the last thing was, Mama was the image of economy. When I surrendered like 39 years ago, the first thing when I went to the center, I was asked to clean, and I was asked to, cut vegetables, help in cooking. And well, all surrender Kumaris, the first thing to learn is this. So I was asked to cut the lady's finger, bindi, and I chopped the head and the tail big pieces, and the middle pieces, I was taught as I saw my mother doing it. So I chopped, I see if anything is wrong, and I started cutting big pieces. So when they saw me cutting like that, Dadi came. I think Dadi Prakashmani was going round, those times. She used to go round in Madhuban, go to the kitchen, go to the vegetable department, go to the milk department. She used to take a round, rounds in all departments. So she said, she took that head and tail I cut. She said, do you know how much this is? Mama she used to take even that little piece, because if one big basket of lady's finger, you cut so much is thrown, wasted, just say 10 people can eat that what you throw. So see that you cut in such a way that nothing is wasted, because this is Baba's yagya. This comes to Baba's yagya. This will be offered to God. So nothing should be wasted. So everything I was taught from Dadis, because they were taught by Mama. It is Brahma Bhojan and Shiv Baba's treasure store. And nothing should be wasted at all. And most of the Dadis, I guess almost all Dadis, as I have come across, they have this economy in their veins. Not only in terms of the material things, not wasting, food or not wasting money, but also thoughts, words, actions, feelings, not waste feelings. Like today, Baba said, beautiful things. Feelings is why do we fail in our spiritual, in the spiritual journey? Why do we fail in any small little circumstances? Why do we fail in little things that happens in trivial matters? It's because of feelings. When I have a negative feeling, when I have the hurt feeling, then I fail. When I fail, then I can't be contented in my life. Like as, Sunday Baba, Avyakt Murli, as Baba said today, so beautiful. You're failing, if you fail, the cause for failing in our spiritual effort or, every test things is because we feel bad, we feel hurt, we feel that. So Baba said, feeling is like a flu. You see? And the flu is contagious, it spreads. And then it lasts long. And if you take medicine, it goes for 7 days. They say if you don't take medicine, it finishes in a week. So you have to go through that period of time to get out of that feeling. It's very easy to feel hurt. It's very easy to feel that pain, feel that, rejection, feel hurt, feel, whatever the feelings we have, the negative. But then to get out of it takes very long. So Dadis, they were, Baba taught them to be, not to think something that's not going to bring me any progress. Don't think that something is not connected to you, that's not related to you, that's not going to bring progress in life. Don't have to think about it. Don't do something, don't talk something which you're not connected. Economy, don't use that energy in waste. Why do I speak? Why do I tell somebody 4 times? Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. You said once, fine, finish. Okay, maximum twice. Why am I using my energy with my children, with my colleagues, or my subordinates to get my work done? We are all, many times we're after people telling this. Economy, don't waste your energy. And for this, we need the sense of detachment. Detachment is not going away. Detachment is not staying aloof, but detachment means to stay away from that. Don't think you're with them. Stay away in your mind. Don't keep thinking, I told her twice, but she's not doing it. Look, and keep watching, keep thinking, is she doing? Why is she not doing? It's like it gives me the stress, and that amount of time I can't connect with God. So when I'm not able to connect to God, then I don't get that strength, or my relationship with God doesn't become strong. So economy, in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your words, in every action, think, please, think a moment. Think a moment before the words come out of your mouth, because it's you, the God's child, you, the God's instrument, you, the precious precious child in this confluence age. God chose you for a special task, So why, if I'm using my energy in this way, in a waste, wasting my energy of thought energy, or words, or actions, or my feelings, or whatever, then how can God use me for his task? Economy. Economy, less stress. Economy, more energy. Economy, more productivity. Economy, more relaxed. Yeah. So there are many, divine qualities. She did not teach speaking, but she taught children through her action, through her mannerism. The way she behaved was in itself a teaching. So teaching through actions, that was Mama. So we just have 10 minutes. If you have any questions. Om Shanti. Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So do you have any questions? Because you have 10 minutes to go. Is that okay?
Yes, anybody would like to share their questions or
Anything you want
points
to
from-
share? Anything you want to ask?
Om Shanti, Manju Behn.
Om Shanti.
To practice detachment, what are the simple things that you would want us to look at? It's very easy to say, but I'm sure it at times becomes very challenging to practice detachment.
That's so true, especially when we are in our family, with children, with, in Lokik world. It's a common question. It's so difficult to practice detachment. But in the first place, it's so important to understand what it means to be detached. Because many a times we understand detachment in a very complicated way. Detachment, the word detachment itself is so complicated because, the impression we have is to get away from everything, but actually it doesn't. Detachment means stop thinking. Mentally get away from it. That's what is detachment. Because if you think again and again and again, say for example, your children, you tell them something, it's just an example, or it could be a colleague, it could be a subordinate, it could be it could be a servant maid. You tell them to do something, and then they ignore it, or maybe they don't do it at that point in time, and you know the importance of the task you told them. You want them to do at once, but whereas you see them not doing it, and you get irritated, you tell them again. You tell them again, and as you tell them why, tell them to do it again, the amount of stress you experience, you understand, and the time, it's very stressful, not only in terms of my thinking, but I'm creating that atmosphere of stress. I tell them again and again, and they are stressed, they are irritated, and they sometimes back answer us, and that irritates me more. Then I tell them something. So a small work, small task, okay, it could be done, but then the atmosphere we create, and the stress, the bitter feeling we have, that's not right, isn't it? So detachment. Now you might ask, how can I get out of this? If I don't tell my child again and again to study, the child will take it easy. But if you tell the child to study again and again, the child will take it easy. As soon as you come to the child and tell, to the child knows, Mama, I know what you're telling. You every day tell the same thing. Mama, you tell me so many times the same thing. I know what to do. So now the child knows what you're going to tell. I repeat it every day. Now what I need to do is I tell the child once, maximum twice, no, don't speak about it again. My silence speaks louder than repeating the same thing many times. So now you just go normal, take it easy, don't talk, don't tell the same thing again and again. When I'm not repeating, when I'm not after, something, that space, that silence will help the child, help the person to understand or realize the importance of the work. Many times we don't give that space to people to understand what you're telling them. So I need to detach myself. I need to be quiet. I need to be quiet also in the mind. So this helps people to understand, realize, heal, which we don't do. So detachment doesn't mean going away, but then stop thinking, stop worrying, stop overthinking, stop getting irritated, but get your mind out of it for some time. That's detachment.
Thank you, Manju Behn, for that. Giving space to people.
Yes.
Easy. Thank you for that. We have another question here from Purushottam. This is from Sindhu Ben, where they say that Mama had always been a Nirantar yogi. How we can do that?
What I understood is, again, it's all about understanding everything in right context. That's very, very important in life. God never teach anything that's difficult for a common layman. The yoga means love. To have that intense, true, selfless love for God. And to love somebody, you don't need a specific time. You don't have to, you know, leave everything aside, put everything aside, and you sit down to love somebody. It's not like that. It's in here. As I do every action, even I sleep, I eat, that love for that soul is always there. When I have love for somebody, I remember them all the time. So when this is so natural in human relationships, why not with God? It's just, I need to, this is what is called as knowing, recognizing God. More I know God, more I know God, more I recognize God, more I connect, I relate, I have that relationship with God, my yoga becomes very natural. I eat, I'm sleeping, I'm walking, I'm doing everything. But then my connection, my love for God, my relationship with God, that's always there. And that, you know, like like you go to office, you're working at home, and don't you remember your children constantly? Don't you remember somebody who you love very much? Somebody who you connect? Always there, back of your mind, you remember them every moment, now and then. You know, that person's face comes in front of my mind. I remember that person again and again. I eat, I remember, oh, this he likes or she likes it. I should put aside for my child, for my brother, my sister, or my whoever it, you know, in my house. I remember them. So I remember God because I love God. My relationship with God as a father, as my beloved, as my guru, as my companion. Like today, Baba said, God is your company and the best companion. And that's the elevated life in the Confluence age. Yeah. So I need to not remember God as God, Shiva, but my relationship. I have my life with God. We share our life with human souls right from golden age up until iron age. But it's only Confluence age where I share my life with God. I eat, I sleep, I talk, I share my life with God. So this is yoga. My life with God life is all the time, isn't it? Every moment. So yoga means to have that relationship, to have that love for God. That's it. Please don't complicate. Don't get into the complicated terminologies and get yourself confused. Actually, it's very straight and very, very easy. But we get into those complicated terms and then we get confused. Nothing like that. Just be easy. Just be very easy. It's very normal and very natural. Yoga means very natural. More natural it is, more continuous, consistent, and all the time. You know, nirantar, like Baba said, it's a continual, becomes very easy. Okay. Any
Okay,
more?
Manju Behn. In the interest of time, can we have a short meditation before we complete?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sit comfortably and focus all your thoughts in the center of your forehead. And take one virtue of Mama, which you like very much. Maybe tolerance, maybe the personality of her purity. Maybe that serenity she has, the virtue that she inculcated, God's virtue, the Almighty's virtue that she inculcated in herself. And just see how that virtue, that value, you can bring it in your life. Shiv Baba, Almighty Authority, Mama Baba, the sacrifice the whole life to become an example in front of us children. Tolerance, patience, uninterrupted love for God. Because in the Confluence age, all my relationships is with one. And so all my focus is towards one. I don't feel any scattered, any doubt. I don't feel my mind is into many things. I feel very stable, very peaceful. And I feel strongly is my everything. And I feel He's with me in every step, all the time, as my companion, as my protector. I'm the best instrument to spread that peace, the love, the faith to the world. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Shanti.
Manju Behn, we appreciate and respect the time and all the learnings that you've shared with us. And we shall request for another session with you very soon in the near
Yeah.
future.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Manju Behn.
Not at all.
Om Shanti.
Pleasure meeting you all. And just be happy all the time, no matter what. And always remember that Baba is with me. He takes care of everything, and I'm just an instrument. And the best instrument is one who is stable and happy. Happiness has a great strength. So no matter what, be happy. Yeah? Okay?
Sure, Manju.
And then
Okay.
lots of greetings and lots of blessings from Madhuban. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.